Okay, so for this question, right, we have a container in the shape of a cone. There's a radius x and a height square root 2. And the volume of the container is k pi multiplied by square root 2 plus 1 cm cube. Okay, so if we look at this question, right, okay, I mean, if you're not very sure how to do, one of the way is by drawing it out. So if you draw it out, you get a cone and the radius is x and the height is basically square root 2. Okay, so first we are given that the slant height in part 1 is square root 18 minus 2. Okay, so based on this, right, we can actually form the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, by looking at this x square. So if you see something square, it's likely could be by Pythagoras theorem. So part 1, using Pythagoras theorem, okay, let me just hold the, because I'm writing upright, so it's a bit untidy. You can see that if I take x square plus square root 2 square equals to square root 18 minus 2 bracket square. Okay, so just by Pythagoras theorem yourself. Okay, after that, open everything, x square plus 2 a minus b bracket square. This will give me a square, which is square root 18 square, that's 18, minus 2ab, 2 times 2 square root 18 plus b square, which is 4. Right, so that will give me a total of 18 plus 4, that will be 22, minus 4 square root 18. Okay, that's x square plus 2 on my left hand side, and I have x square, bring over the 2, I have 20 minus 4 square root 18. Now for square root 18, I can easily write this as pull out a perfect square. So this is the same as 20 minus 4 square root 9 square root 2, which is the same as 20. Now square root 9 is the same as 3, so 4 times 3 is 12 square root 2. Okay, and with that, you are done with part 1. Okay, so next we are supposed to find the exact value of k lah. Okay, so of course, where is k? K is in our volume lah. Okay, so how do we find the volume? Of course, we need to form the equation that relates to the volume. Okay, so let me just assume everything and I erase. So for this question, the volume, as we know, is part 2 is k pi bracket square root 2 plus 1. Now volume formula for cone is 1/3 times pi r square times height, so it's 1/3. We know that the height of the radius is x, so 1/3 times pi r square times height. Now the height is square root 2. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, also from earlier we know that x square is 20 minus 12 square root 2, so it's 1/3. Okay, basically let me just combine everything, pi square root 2 over 3, and I'm just going to bring in my x square from part 1, that is 20 minus 12 square root 2. Okay, this is equals to k pi square root 2 plus 1. Now remember, I tell you that we always try to simplify along the way, so just looking at this, you can see I can cancel out pi. Right, bringing my k over this 2 over to the right side, I have square root 2 20 minus 12 square root 2 over 3 at the denominator, and square root 2 plus 1. Okay, so take note, I'm bringing this over to my denominator, and this is what I have. So with this, right, you see that this is my cert here. I don't really have to involve the 3. I can put the 3 outside. Okay, so I just want to let you all know this. You don't have to involve. So I'm going to purposely put square root 2 over 3 outside, because I don't want to make my number so big. I'm just going to keep 20 minus 12 square root 2 here. And you can see that I'm bringing in my conjugates now. Square root 2 minus 1, square root 2 minus 1. Okay, it doesn't matter whether the cert is in front or the cert is at the back. So this is my k. So with that, okay, 20 square root 2, I have 20 square root 2 minus 20, 12, there'll be 24, minus 24, and plus, because minus will give me a plus, that will give me minus plus 12 square root 2 over the denominator a minus ba plus b, a squared minus b squared, that will be 2 minus 1, and my square root 2 over 3 is still on the outside. Okay, so that is my k. Let me just bring this down a bit. Okay, so with that 20 square root 2 and 12 square root 2 will give me 32 square root 2. 20 and 24 will give me minus 44. My denominator is just 1, so that's nothing, right? Multiply by square root 2 over 3. So that simplifies further. Square root 2. Oh, sorry. Okay. Square root 2. Square root 2. This will give me a 2. 2 times 32. That will give me a 64. 44 square root 2. So minus 44 square root 2 over 3. And that is your k. Okay. And you are done for this question. Okay. Thank you.